Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys. So this is Romanucci and Blondin law. And apparently minor child abuse is against the law, you guys. Who knew? Overview. Child abuse lawyers protecting innocence and pursuing justice. Minor child abuse is a criminal offense that can be punished by imprisonment, but a victim of such abuse, like a Scientologist, can also file a civil lawsuit to recover compensation. Romanucci and Blondin has significant experiences with minor child abuse lawsuits, and we are very familiar with the challenges and compassion that these cases require. We understand how to listen to people who have suffered sexual assault and sexual abuse, and our minor child abuse attorneys know how to bring some measure of justice to your life. Listen to this, Scientology. What is minor child abuse? Minor child abuse is a form of sexual abuse perpetrated against minors who in no way can consent. I guess Serge Delmar was onto something. To any form of sexual activity. So apparently Scientologists who want to rape children, even though you want to call children adults in small bodies, children are not able to consent to sex. And when you take them by force, it's against the law, otherwise known as rape. Who in no way can consent to any form of sexual activity. This happens when an adult uses their position of authority to exploit or sexually abuse a minor. The most likely people in a child's life to abuse them are people whom they interact with regularly, including caregivers who can be the child's parents or guardians, and close relatives or friends of the family. Or other adults of authority. Minor child abuse is a highly dehumanizing occurrence that can cause psychological and emotional damage that can last a lifetime. Minor child abuse can involve emotional abuse, mental injuries, or impact to mental health, physical abuse including physical harm and physical injury, child sexual exploitation material, CSEM, also known as child pornography, sexual assault, and any forms of sexual activity with the minor that can harm a child's emotional or physical welfare. Sexualized phone calls or text messages, sex trafficking. Minor child abuse is real. Victims of sexual abuse at the hands of an adult or someone in a position of power can be hesitant to speak out due to shame or fear, embarrassment, or intimidation. So kids in Scientology right now, if you're being sexually abused, you need to do your best to come out and tell, call one of these hotlines, like RAINN. Embarrassment or intimidation. Romanucci and Blondin has significant experience with minor child abuse lawsuits and is familiar with the challenges and care that is needed to work with victims in cases. Child abuse and neglect do not always result in child abuse charges or child abuse convictions. Unfortunately, allegations of child abuse are not always properly investigated. You don't say. You know, sometimes the cops are raping the kids themselves. Are not always properly investigated by law enforcement or child protective services. You guys know what's going on in child protective services, right? You guys know. I don't want to get into it too much right now. To create criminal charges in a criminal case. Well, maybe they can penalize those cops that were raping that girl and all the other children that got raped over there. Criminal law and criminal courts do not always protect victims of child abuse. Well, we know that's correct. Your minor child abuse claim, with headquarters in Chicago, the sexual abuse attorneys at Romanucci and Blondin know the damage caused by these situations. Can also include medical bills for treatment. Take care of that, you guys. That's evidence. Therapy, also evidence. Or counseling and more. The attorneys at Romanucci and Blondin know how to navigate these sensitive cases and bring justice to victims, even if the abuse took place years ago. And often settle these types of cases without going to trial. At Romanucci and Blondin, we approach a minor child abuse claim to provide monetary compensation and hold an individual or institution, like Scientology, financially accountable and responsible for the economic, physical, and emotional damages that have occurred. Our law firm has a team of attorneys and staff with years of experience with minor child abuse litigation. Our sexual abuse legal team includes partners and guide the process and share their deep knowledge of minor child abuse lawsuits. Each client and each situation are different, and your claim is treated with great care and respect as the team investigates what happened and determines the best path to justice for you. We know exactly what to do to litigate your minor child abuse claim. We will obtain all necessary background information on the abuser and, if appropriate, any institution, like Scientology, that was involved. We find the records, interview witnesses, utilize reports, and prepare thoroughly and meticulously for your case. Ultimately, we aim to obtain the maximum compensation possible so you can move on with your life. At Romanucci and Blondin, our minor child abuse attorneys research the most up-to-date sexual misconduct laws and hire trained and experienced minor child abuse experts to work as expert witnesses and consultants on your cases. We will evaluate your injury and claim and research the statute of limitations applicable to your case. We work to locate and utilize the best experts, experienced in all the relevant state laws nationwide. Listen to that, you guys. It's nationwide. So it's not only in Chi-Town. Delivering justice for minor child abuse victims. The results we have achieved in many minor child abuse cases are a testament to our team's fierce dedication to clients. You know, sexually abused children. For example, we have procured justice for multitudes of people. From those who were sex trafficked, hurt by the church, or Boy Scout leaders, or children, groomed and abused by teachers. Free consultation, free consultation on your case with Chicago-based minor child abuse lawyers. The minor child abuse attorneys at Romanucci and Blondin have proven success in these types of cases. If you or a loved one has suffered injury or wrongful death, please contact our office at 312-458-1000 or click here for a free case evaluation. There is never a fee until you are compensated for your injuries. Listen to that, you guys. I know a lot of you guys are worried about money. They ain't taking your case unless they think they can win. There's a name, I can't think of the name, what that's called. contingency? I can't remember. Compensated for your injuries at the end of the case. Disclaimer, the content found on this page is not legal assistance in contacting the sexual abuse and hazing lawyers at Romanocci and Blondin's law office for a free consultation regarding personal injury cases and minor child abuse claims does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. So here it is. One settlement for minor child abuse, $2,750,000. Here's another sexual abuse of a child at Catholic Church camp, $2,100,000. Clergy abuse, Scientology. I'm just saying Scientology. You know, they have clergy allegedly there. $1,400,000. And then here's the other things that they cover. Boy Scouts, clergy abuse, hazing, bullying, and intimidation. Wouldn't that be fair gaming and ethics handlings, writing KRs? School and institutional abuse, sex trafficking, sexual abuse, and hazing. I'm going to click on clergy abuse and see what I find here. Talking about civil lawsuits. What is clergy abuse? So children in Scientology, if you happen to listen to this while your parents or guardians are in the room, just keep this in mind that when you go to sue Scientology, because you will, and there's going to be a lot of people behind you, like multi-million-dollar lawyers that really know what they're doing. And they're going to sue Scientology into the ground for hurting you. What is clergy abuse? Clergy abuse is a form of sexual abuse perpetrated against adults or minors when a clergy intentionally uses their power and position to exploit or sexually abuse a member of their congregation. Clergy abuse is a highly dehumanizing occurrence that can cause psychological and emotional damages that can last a lifetime. Clergy abuse can involve sexualizing conversations, kind of like this sexualized bull baiting of children that they do in Scientology. You guys do know that a lot of the misogynistic, sexually abusing men sexually harass the girl children in Scientology in the bull baiting sessions? Yeah, they do. Soliciting or sending sexual images or text, unwanted touching, like a touch assist. A touch assist is unwanted touching. You know, touch assists that are written right into Scientology policies with children and adults that it's unlawful and illegal. Yeah. Or sexual activity. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys can go check it out. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.